Hey everybody, Thursday afternoon, time for the shop update here at Woodsmith. We've got some new projects in the works, a couple in progress, and you'll notice this whole area, no CNC machine. So Marc's going to show off that in just a little bit, but we're going to start with Dillon.
Alright, welcome everybody. So the project I'm currently working on is a leather tool tote for Woodsmith 271. Talked about it briefly, I think maybe last week, but I finally got my pieces cut out. The construction of this was kind of inspired by a baseball and how the two parts come together to create the exterior of the ball. And so I basically have my top two sides, and then I have my bottom and the other two sides. And what I started to do is I cut out my two pieces. I've got radius corners on here. I went ahead and created the kind of marking line or the gutter for my stitching pattern. It's a reference for all my holes. It keeps it exactly, an 1/8 or 3/16 from the edge. Instead of using like a buckle, I chose to use a zipper for the enclosure. I did this in a couple parts. So I cut out the actual, the cutout there. I just removed the leather strip. There is a pre-made zipper in here, which I adhered to the back side with glue. And then I put another piece or backer piece on top of that and sewed them in place just to give it a little bit more structure there. There's going to be obviously a lot of contact using the zipper, opening and closing and adding tools, and so I wanted to beef that up as much as possible. We're going ahead and just using a traditional saddle stitch. The nice thing about this stitch is that once you're done, you can back stitch it through a couple holes and it stays securely in place. But it also, again, as you can see, covers all of the holes because you're looping two pieces of thread through each hole. So it's really strong, pretty aesthetically pleasing, but again, I think from a structural standpoint, it's going to work really well. Of course, you're making several of these. We talked about this a little bit. You can order rolls of zippers, so if you're interested in doing more of these or more leather work, you can get rolls of zippers. However, if you're just doing one, I went ahead and just ordered one to the length I needed. So the next step in this is I'm creating all the holes on the larger piece that makes up the bottom and the two long sides. And I am just creating all of my stitch holes, going around following that gutter that I created. Once I get done with that, I'll do it on the other piece, and then I'll start lining them up to stitch. There's going to be 4 little like clavos on the bottom, so they'll kind of function as feet, so the leather isn't just making contact with the table. You've got something that's a little more robust that's coming in contact with the tabletop or floor, and then it will also get a small strap on either side too. So hopefully have this finished up sometime next week. However, we are going to be shooting photography for the next couple weeks. I think maybe the day after or a couple days after Thanksgiving. So if we don't see this next week, perhaps we'll look at it the following week. One other thing, I'm working on a prototype for a dining chair. I do have some pretty rough plans. I want something to be a companion to the dining table that we did somewhat recently, and so I've taken some of the cutout motifs from that and try and integrate it into the chair, and then follow some of the same lines that exist in the table as well. So chairs are hard, so I'm going to build a prototype, make sure my angles are good and it's comfortable, and then we'll probably end up making a couple of these for a photo shoot. So look forward to seeing some prototype or a prototype of that. That will be a project in the near future, and then I'm also in the early stages of modeling a Charles Rennie Macintosh piece, which I'm pretty excited to do. So check in with that next week or the following week, and yeah, we'll talk to you then. Otherwise, let's move over to Marc.
Hey everybody, let's go through to the photo studio and I'll show you the CNC machine that I got wrapped up earlier in the week. So the construction and putting this together, we completed that on Monday and Tuesday this week. Chris has been working on getting the wiring all together. This was photographed in a magazine yesterday, so I think we still need to get it operational. So I think we've got to contend with that, but Just to highlight, this is all made of Baltic birch with some aluminum rails for the gantry and all these guys to operate on. If you checked in last week, I probably explained how everything worked. I can't move this because it's all connected. So the only way of operating this now is actually getting it moving via the computer system. So this is all wrapped up, so I'm excited to see it working. Steve and I are tag teaming another project this week. So back in here we go. So Steve's on drawer duty, and I'm building the carcass for a cherry piece, which is this one. It's a 10 drawer unit, solid cherry. The legs, the top and the core balls are going to be stained a different colour to the rest of it. So I've got these sides. I'm going to start the joinery this afternoon. The legs and the core balls are all made, ready to go on and get stained and finished. That's pretty much it. We're working pretty fast on this one when there's two of us on it. So we'll go over to Steve, who's working on the drawers, and they're a pretty unique design, pretty cool looking.
Hey everybody. So here's a picture of the drawers we're doing. It's a two-piece cherry front that we're basically going to take out of a piece of 6/4 thicker. I cut off a 1/2 inch. I joint that back, take it down to 1/4 inch. The thicker piece, I joint that face. That way I can put these two back together and the grain rather matches.
That's cool.
And then for the back, we're doing sliding dovetail. So this will just slide in. So there's a lot going on with these sides. You got to cut a sliding dovetail, got to cut a groove for the drawer guide, and a dado for the back and a groove for the bottom. But this will slide in like so, and I'll drop the bottom in, and then the back will go on, which I haven't made yet. But so gives it kind of a unique look. I don't know if we're going to do shop made or store-bought handles, but to be determined.
So what are we looking at over here?
What that? Oh, this is just a rabbit plane from, who was this from? This one's boxed. Bickford, Matt Bickford. I've had this for a couple years. He's got it boxed in persimmon. It's real nice for like cleaning up these grooves.
Oh yeah.
So on. So about 7/8 wide.
I love it.
Yeah, he does nice work. But that's all I got.
Well, there you go. That's it for today's shop update. If you have any questions or comments about the projects that you've seen, you want to leave them in the comments section below, and we can answer those when we see them. Bye, everybody.